You've made it. It's the end of another school year and it's time for the summer holidays. Although, this summer, a bit like the last few months of school, it might still be a bit different to previous ones. You might not be flying off anywhere exotic, or you may not be going anywhere at all. But it doesn't matter, because you're still going to have plenty of opportunity to get outside and look at the world around you. You might find yourself visiting a beach and you can play in the sand or swim in the sea or look at the rock pools, or in the forest where you can look at all the tall trees and smell all the smells and look for signs of all the animals and bugs that live here, or climbing up hills or mountains so you can see amazing views for miles and miles around. Well, with that in mind, I thought that this week maybe we should just take a stop and think about, where did it all come from? There are tons of amazing things all around us, everywhere we go. Beautiful things like trees and plants and seas and oceans and views. Useful things like food we can eat and wood that we can make things from and cotton that we can make our clothes from. Clever people can take things around them and make other things, different things, equally amazing. Like how they can take lots of metal and they can make it fly as aeroplanes or helicopters. So who do we have to thank for all of this? Right back at the beginning of the Bible, we read about how God made, well, everything. Genesis chapter 1 tells us all about the 7 days of creation. So on day 1, God made the heavens and the earth. Then he made light so that we had night and day. Did you know that in the north of Norway, because of how high up in the world it is, there are 76 days each year where the sun never sets? It's daylight 24 hours a day, every day, for 76 days. On day 2, God made the land and the skies. Did you know that land only makes up 1/3 of the entire world's surface? The other 2/3, that's all water. On day 3, God made all the plants and the trees. Did you know that in California, in America, they have these trees called redwoods? And these trees can grow up to 91 meters tall. That's almost the same as Big Ben. On day 4, God made the sun and the moon and the stars. You know, sometimes when you go to the beach, the sea can be like right there next to you. And other times you go and it's way over there in the distance. That's called the tide. Did you know the tide is actually caused by the moon? On day 5, God made all the fish of the sea and all the birds that fly. Did you know that there are 33,600 different types of fish that we know about? On day 6, God made all the animals of the land. Then he made the first 2 people, Adam and Eve. Did you know that from those first 2 people, there are now 7.5 billion people on Earth? That's this many zeros. And on day 7, we're told that God rested. I don't know about you. I think he'd earned it. So, according to the Bible, everything including you and me, was made by God. Now, when we're making something, like a fort, we can be in kind of a hurry, can't we? We get all the blankets and the duvets and the chairs, and we just kind of throw it up in a hurry. And if it starts to fall down, well, then we'll deal with that when it happens. But that's not how God works. See, when God makes something, he thinks it through. Look at the human body, for example. We have all these different parts that work in different ways. So we've got brains that control all the different bits of our body. We've got hearts that pump the blood around from the top of our head to the tips of our toes. And then we've got other things like intestines, which help our body to process the food that we eat. And these intestines, they can be up to 6 meters long. Now, if we were making a person, I don't think we'd ever think to do something like that, would we? See, God didn't just rush into making everything and think, if something goes wrong, I'll fix it later on. No, he carefully planned out each and every little detail. Have you ever felt a bit fed up with the way that you look? Have you ever wished that maybe you were a little bit taller or a little bit shorter? Do you wish you had different colour eyes or maybe different colour hair? You see, Psalm 139 verse 14, it tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. You see, God did know what he was doing when he made us. And he made us all to be different to one another. No two people are exactly the same. Not even twins. See, I think if everybody did look the same, the world would be a pretty boring place, really. So this summer, as you go around, remember to take a step back every now and then and look around. Look at all the amazing things that God has made. Maybe get up close and really look at the detail that's gone into everything. Why don't you, every day, pick something different and pray to God and say, thank you for making that? Now, as this is the first week of the summer holidays, I thought, rather than leaving you with a verse to learn, I'd leave you with a new song. Now, I don't think a lot of you have seen this song before, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I'd love to see a few of you having a go at it. So do it, record it, and send it to me. Now, I'm not here next week. I think it's Simon that's covering for me. So I hope you'll enjoy his talk. But for now, I'll leave you and I'll see you in a few weeks. Bye-bye.